I hope we're all doing really well. Today is going to be another baddie revelation, and this one is going to be about the importance of staying neutral. But before we get into it, you're more than welcome to subscribe. On this channel, I talk about all things self-development and being the best, baddest version of yourself. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you here. So when you're a baddie never argues and shows her emotions. A baddie chooses to observe her surroundings and not let anyone get the upper hand by showing her hand. And what does this mean? This means that no matter if you're in a controversial debate, whether you are fighting with your boyfriend or you are having an annoying coworker, talking to you, someone trying to get you down, or if you're just standing in line waiting to get a coffee and you're having a bad day, something in you is telling you to take it out on the barista. I'm going to tell you how to stay neutral, whether it's in the middle of a confrontation, a fight, when you're in a bad mood, and just in general, every single day of your life, how to stay neutral in the public eye, and even in general, just looking at things from a neutral perspective, if not looking at it from a positive perspective. You are not a baddie if you show your hand. If it looks like someone is getting on your nerve, a baddie is in herself, is in her personality, has all of the energy inside of herself and focus in herself, and doesn't let anyone affect her. Whether it is affecting her or not, it doesn't matter. As long as you are showing to the public or to whoever you're talking to that you are not fazed by whatever is happening, it does not mean that you are being walked all over. Say you're having a fight with someone, and I'm just gonna say that it is very important to have that neutrality within yourself, but if you're not in that space yet, it's very important as a baddie to keep the neutrality when you're in a confrontation, or if you're just in a bad mood or someone is pissing you off. You always have to stay neutral on the outside, even though you're not feeling it on the inside, but we're going to be working on how to feel neutral on the inside as well, because that's even more important. But if we're just starting out, always look like no one can get you down. You are not affected by someone else or whatever circumstance is happening. You are not letting that person get the satisfaction of letting your emotions show or showing to them that something in them has triggered you. If not neutral, it's even better to be just indifferent if it is a confrontation or depending on the circumstance. Now, if I am getting triggered by someone, if it looks like there's some sort of competition at work, even though I do not see competition at all, you have to stay in your own lane. There's no such thing as being in competition with anyone, because you have your own journey. You don't even want the things that that other person wants. You don't even want the same, career that that person wants, and the world is abundant and there are so many opportunities for you and for the other person. But let's just say, as an example, that you are feeling like you're in competition, like you need to compete for a promotion, let's say. You need to stay neutral and be in your own lane. Now, what does this mean? It means that you're not looking on the right, you're not looking on the left, you are focusing on yourself. And if you have seen a bunch of these baddie revelation videos, you will see a current theme that the main thing that I talk about is focusing on yourself. So we're not looking right, we're not looking left. What is this Karen saying? What is this person saying? Even if they are triggering us. And I'm not saying this from a high horse space. There are things that are still triggering me, but I never let it show at all. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction to show that you are the one who is triggering me. You know what I mean? Always stay neutral, but if we can work on the inside as well, it's even better. But never show your hand, never show that you are upset, ever. We're not overly happy, we're not sad, we're not annoyed, we're not trying to be petty and one-up a person. We're neutral, we're staying in our lane, we're focusing on what needs to be done. What can I do to get this promotion? Not looking at anyone else, no environment around me. I am focused on myself, I believe in myself, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to be putting in the work day in and day out, things that I need to do, perform to the highest performance, not looking at, oh, what is this person doing? Can I do the same thing that they're doing? Not learning from another person, just being within yourself and focusing on yourself, staying neutral. And if there is anything that is triggering you, if you can see that that person is sucking up to the boss, don't even look at it, stay neutral, have a poker face, and just keep on doing your work. Once you show that, it's not going to be affecting people. People are going to look at you and be like, hey, she actually doesn't care, so like, what's the point that I'm competing with her? What is even the point of playing these games when this person isn't even looking at me. Or people are all good at heart, but egos come into play and people want to show off and, you know, kind of look like they're the better person. There's a lot of immaturity out there, and circumstances in my life has always showed me that it's never what it actually is. Things are never as it seems, especially at a workplace. It's really crazy. Like, you think one thing is happening and then you kind of look back and it's like, oh, I was actually blowing this up out of proportion, or oh, actually it was not even like this. Someone's talking about, like, if they're anti-vax and, you know, I'm pro-vax, and things aren't getting to this person, and I wouldn't even engage in a fight to do with that in the first place, because, like, you can't really change someone's opinions when you're in a fight and you're just trying to prove them wrong. That's never going to work. And so, you know, but let's just say you got caught up in this situation. It's okay, just start steering your way into neutrality. You're not overly positive, you're not laughing, you're not like kind of looking petty, but you're not overly negative and, you know, yelling at this person. You know, you just start looking neutral and saying neutral things to kind of diffuse the situation. Now, if you did start having all this fight and, you know, blah, 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 saying things that are getting out of hand, you're going to look back at that situation and you're going to regret it, because, you know, if you start saying something that maybe out of anger you don't even mean, you're going to look back and be like, hey, I was actually the bad guy here. Whereas if you are just in a neutral state, in a neutral position, and you stand your ground, you're firm like a log, and, you know, you're not mad, you're not positive, you're just neutral, you're going to look back at that situation, even if that person is yelling at you and like full-blown disrespecting you. And I'm not definitely saying let someone walk over you, but I'm saying that the first thing that you should do is try to walk away from that situation, because that person is not in their right mind when the ego has taken over. That's not even them. If it comes to them repeatedly disrespecting you, if it comes to them obviously trying to physically, you know, go into a physical altercation, that is a different story. If it comes to protecting yourself or not letting yourself be walked over, there's different ways of doing that. But if you just catch yourself in a sort of fight like that, and it's the first time, and, you know, you stay neutral, you're going to look back at that situation, and everyone around you who saw that or has been talking about this after this whole entire fight, they're going to see that you're the one who stayed your ground, that you weren't overly positive and laughing and just making a joke out of this, and you weren't yelling at the person and engaging in the fight. You were just literally neutral, not saying anything, not doing anything. You just like sitting there and, you know, saying, I don't agree with you, but I don't want to, you know, engage in this anymore. People are going to respect you, and you're going to kind of look like the winner in that situation. And it's not even to be the winner or the loser in anything, but to save face. And, you know, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who won in that situation. You can't ever see a situation in the moment until you kind of zoom out and you look back and you're like, hey, like, this was like a weird situation. We said things that we don't really mean. Like, yes, we have opposing, you know, thoughts, but a baddie never shows her hand. A baddie never shows her emotions. For example, you see your boyfriend talking to a really cute girl, and you're going to stay neutral in that moment, and you're also going to stay neutral afterwards. You're not going to breathe a freaking word of that, no matter how annoyed you are, unless it is something that is ongoing and you keep seeing that. You're going to neutrally talk to the person. Yes, there are times that confrontation is relevant and you have to, you know, speak your truth. If someone keeps on disrespecting you, definitely bring it up neutrally. Always say everything in a neutral, professional way. It doesn't matter if you're in the office. It doesn't matter if you're in bed with your boyfriend. You have to always stay neutral in these kind of situations. When you have that balance, you have that power. You are in control. You're the one that, you know, in the long term, they're going to look back and think, hey, I'm going to change my thoughts and emotions, because you can't get from, you know, yelling at someone for them to change their emotions. You can't get someone to constantly on their backs, like, did you talk to this girl? Did you talk to this girl? Don't talk to this girl. At the end of the day, you can't really control someone unless you use the law of assumption. Always stay neutral. Never let these hoes know what you're about. Never let them know what you're feeling inside. You can be literally elated, so happy, or you can be literally the most like annoyed person in the room. But especially when it's strangers or workers or someone that's pissing you off, especially in those moments, always good to stay neutral. So that is very, very important, a very important baddie revelation point. I hope that kind of got to you. I hope that you kind of understood what I was saying with that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I read all of the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.